Today, we're going to explore a science that's been forgotten for decades. It's this idea that we can farm not just with soil and water, but with the living electricity of the atmosphere itself. I mean, just think about that for a second. What if every storm, every bolt of lightning, every invisible current flowing over our heads wasn't just weather, but actual nourishment, an invisible rain of pure energy that could make our gardens explode with life? It's a huge question, and it's right at the heart of electroculture.
So, what is this stuff really? Well, electroculture is basically the art of tapping into all that atmospheric energy. And the claims, they are pretty bold. We're talking faster germination, stronger plants, way more resistance to pests, and just dramatically bigger harvests. And the craziest part? All of this without a single drop of chemical fertilizer.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds a little out there, maybe like old folklore or something. But the real story here is about a practice that's actually grounded in observable physics. It just got pushed aside and forgotten.
See, this isn't some new fad. Way back at the turn of the 20th century, pioneers were getting absolutely incredible results with this. But then, industrial agriculture and chemical fertilizers took over, and this whole idea of free natural energy from the sky, it just got buried.
So that brings us back to the big question, right? Is it just wishful thinking, or is there a solid scientific foundation to all of this? Well, the answer, as it turns out, comes from a very unexpected place.
To really get our heads around the core principle here, the author of our source material, César Arce, gives us this perfect analogy from his own experience as a pilot. So as a plane is soaring through the sky, the friction from all those air molecules builds up a massive static charge on its metal skin. It's exactly like rubbing a balloon on your hair, but on a, much, much bigger scale. Now, if you let that charge build up, it can mess with the plane's communications or even cause dangerous sparks. So they have these small metal rods on the wings called static wicks, and their whole job is just to safely discharge all that electricity right back into the air. And this is where it gets really fascinating. A static wick on a plane is all about safety. Its job is to get rid of electricity. But an electroculture antenna, which is designed for vitality, does the absolute opposite. And that's the whole concept right there. Instead of discharging that atmospheric energy away for safety, an electroculture antenna actually harvests it and channels it down into the ground to wake up all the life in the soil. And look, this isn't just some fringe theory. It's documented physics. The legendary physicist Richard Feynman explained that our planet and the ionosphere basically form a giant natural capacitor. It's constantly being charged by nature. We are literally living inside this massive electric field right now. Okay, so the physics is there, the theory holds up, but has anyone actually put this into practice and seen real results? Well, let's take a look at the pioneers who did exactly that, long before any of us were around. The history here is just amazing. It really starts with Nikola Tesla's dream of capturing what he called radiant energy from the sky. Then, a guy named Victor Hess actually proved the atmosphere is electrified by cosmic rays. And that led pioneers like Justin Christoflau to put the whole theory to the test in his fields. And the results he documented back in the 1920s, they were just stunning. Using simple copper antennas, his potato yields nearly doubled. His vineyards had more even ripening with less disease, and his wheat yields jumped by 30 to 60%, all without chemicals. Yeah, just let that sink in for a minute. An 80% or even higher increase in his potato harvest. It's an absolutely incredible figure, and he achieved it simply by tuning the soil into the natural electricity that's already in the atmosphere. So here's the best part. This isn't just a history lesson or some abstract physics concept. It's something anyone can experiment with. The book really frames it as a kind of biohacker's invitation to turn your own garden into a living laboratory. And you won't believe how simple it is to build one of these antennas. You just take a wooden pole, ground a copper wire in the soil at the bottom, and then you spiral that wire all the way up. Now, the one key detail is the direction you wind it. You go clockwise in the northern hemisphere and counterclockwise in the southern, so you're aligning with the Earth's natural electromagnetic flow. And what can you expect to see if you try this? Well, people who experiment with this report all kinds of amazing things. They see seeds sprouting faster, their seedlings grow way stronger, and their plants are just more resilient against pests and drought. They even talk about better flavor and vitality in the food they grow. And that really gets to the core philosophy here. You're not inventing some new energy source. You're just remembering how to tune your garden into a natural circuit that has always existed, just waiting for us to listen in again. So in the end, electroculture is so much more than just a gardening technique. It's a different way of seeing our connection to the planet. It's this idea that your body is the antenna, the earth is your amplifier, and your garden is just waiting to resonate with the sky. And it leaves you with one big question. What happens when we finally plug back in?